Good morning. It is day 3 of the ramp truck thrash. Sunday morning after the paint has cured and dried. Looks good, feels good, nice and shiny. I looked it up online. I thought it was going to be matte, but it is gloss. Like, look at that. You can really see all the dust that's in it. Charlie's still with us. Benny's with us this morning, finishing up the gas tank. We just flipped the gas tank over to get the bottom side. There's a few little touch-ups to do, but mostly we're just gonna put it back together. If there's anything that we missed, we could probably get it later. It's really not that big of a deal. So that's what the video is gonna be, is reassembly on the ramp truck. We're gonna try and get this thing fully back on wheels, like get axles under it, like reassemble everything. I think it's gonna look sweet, and really excited to get it back together. Don't forget to like, click subscribe, hit notifications. Let's do it. First thing we're gonna get done is probably engine and transmission mount. We'll stick those back in. That way we can get the jack and the blocks and the jack stand out from underneath the drivetrain. Then everything can start kind of going back on, like exhaust can go back on. Anything that touches the motor can go back on. And then after that, we'll try and work on the axles, get all the suspension pieces back on, get the gas tank back in before the deck goes on, because that was really difficult to do with the deck on. But we did do it. That's next. We got the, where's the cross member here? Engine mount cross member here. Stick that back in, and then tranny cross member is where? Ah, there it is. One of the first pieces to get painted. Hey, we'll find some hardware and get on that. So Riley that was here painting last night, him and his wife Sam, they just bought a Metropolitan. Dogs are barking, somebody's at the gate, guess who it is? Let's check this thing out. Dude, this thing is a pin. It is so cool.
Yeah, super nice, man.
I'm super, I guess. Yeah, but Tyler's mom was driving it.
Dude, this thing is so clean. Nice little resto on it. Cute as a button.
I'm stoked, man. Like,
It's our new daily.
yeah.
Motor mount and transmission mount are done. We are in, stoked. No jack under there now. Now we are gonna go to the front axle. We painted this just with some rattle cans that we had around, Duplicolor matte black or whatever. It's kind of funny that they're matte black and the chassis is shiny, which is kind of weird, but it's all black. It's all gonna see the road. Road doesn't care what color it is. Our friend Charlie has gone home. We were last working on putting that front end together. Sunday didn't really totally happen. Basically, me and Charlie threw the engine trans in, we threw the front suspension in, and I was just bagged. Charlie had to catch a ferry, and anyway, just chilled out that day. And then yesterday, Monday, got a bunch of other kind of work priorities done. Elio and I are back on the ramp truck. This is the first time Elio's seen it since Friday.
Yeah, and man, a lot has been done. Like, you guys did a lot.
Huge shout out, massive thank you to every single person that dropped by to lend a hand. I feel so grateful and so lucky that we've got the kind of friend group and crew that comes together at times like this and just gets them done. You know, I think it's amazing. So thank you everybody so much for helping. And yeah, Elio and I today are gonna kind of put this thing back together. The paint is nice and hard. Everything is coated. This thing is ready to go back together. Like even the inside of the chassis all got done. Yeah, it looks shiny. I looked it up. I thought it was a matte color, but I guess it wasn't.
Oh, well.
Yeah, no, I think it looks cool. I think it looks totally good. We did a big birthday for the shop, as in like Elio and I just spent the last, really actually it wasn't that long, maybe 45 minutes.
Yeah.
Doing a big cleanup, putting everything away. For the rest of this video, we're just gonna go around, kind of touch up the paint spots as we are completely assembling the chassis to a roller. So
it's gonna be cool to see it come together really quick. Now, like, since we've taken it apart and put it together so many times, now it's like the last time it's put together, like everything's nice and painted, new bolts everywhere. Could we just roll this on this cart?
Like, oh, just like that? Yeah, probably. Oh, dude, don't kill yourself.
No, I'm just, we have
But
to
if we pull this
we just
to
have
the
to-
other
yeah.
side of this, yeah.
It's gonna fall, no?
It should balance kind of, but there we go. Oops. Scratching the paint, Elio. God. Okay, rear end's kind of sort of in place, so we're gonna put on the lower links. The way the suspension works is that the lower links have a diagonal link attached to them. Basically, that's what's gonna center our rear end. There's a bunch of different ways. You can do panhard bar, you can do Watts link, you can do you know, all kinds of different ways, but what we used is a diagonal link. So basically on the lower bars, directly on the pivot, we've got these brackets that we've made. These ones run just like this, diagonally across the front lower link pivot to the rear lower link pivot, passenger to driver side. And that diagonal link, which is gonna be this bar with a couple of Heim joints, that is what's gonna center the rear end. So that's what we're working on right now. Putting these lower bars on and getting that in place. I love that I can put these big links in place without, with minimal effort. If you guys don't remember, that is the cardboard trick. You make basically a cardboard washer as you're welding links together, and it's the perfect thickness. For one of these, I just have a bolt going like that through it, and that is the pivot for the lower link. Some people were keyboarding, you know, talking about that this was maybe a little bit on the weak side. You know, our degrees in Google engineering are
pretty high.
I didn't print mine off yet, but and something else people might not realize too is that this is also 3/16 wall tubing, so it's like pretty thick. I also wanted to shout out to everybody who suggested like cantilever systems and stuff for doing the 2-to-1 ratio for the shocks. I think that's like a genius way to do it, and we were absolutely gonna do that. After like much deliberation, you know, like obviously our brains kind of went super into the idea of doing like cool rockers and, you know, funky suspension that way.
We got way too complicated, way too fast. And
this was like the keep it simple, stupid, you know? I cooked one of the bushings, so we had to order like another box of these bushings. These are the largest bushings that Energy Suspension makes. Not a sponsored thing or anything, but just I'm sure people are gonna ask. And they take 5/8 bolts. Like a lot of suspension bushings are kind of weird sizes and not crazy universal, but these ones are, and they're big. The fixed length thing was kind of mostly because once you set it up, like basically how we set it up, we used tape measures and like went crazy as far as trying to use multiple points to locate the rear axle and everything. And by being that accurate with tape measure and measuring placement of the axle, that's what you would do to adjust the 4-link bars anyway. Let's get these bars in. Okay, so we're gonna rubber isolate the gas tank a little bit. So I'm just gonna cut a couple of strips of this just to put on both these cross members, and then I might put rubber underneath and on top of our mounting tabs, just for any movement, you know, any tiny bits of twisting. If it was like hard mounted, you might be stressing the edges of this gas tank, or, you know, you just don't want everything to be super hard mounted on something that will tend to flex, like a massive heavy truck that could be weighing, you know, 10, 12,000 pounds unloaded, and you go into a driveway that's uneven that, you know, makes it want to do this, and, you know, the sway bar at the same time is trying to fight that. And you got to think about those things when you're mounting stuff in any situation, is like what forces are going to be on it. So that's just why rubber mounting, right? If it's hard on hard, might end up doing some cracking. I got these things called hollow gasket punches. You can get them anywhere. KBC Tools is one place that you could for sure get them. Princess Auto has them as well. But basically what they are is they're like a hollow punch. You go to KBC Tools for that, you can get a discount. You use Make It Kustom, all capital letters, all one word. And don't forget to sign up for their website to get the discount. Blue Loctite on things that I want to never have to see, try and get to. Notice how we painted them black? I don't like yellow. Okay, so most of the back is back together now. We've kind of buttoned things up. I've thrown on a couple of the air lines, shortened this, got these mounted. Probably will end up changing these fittings from the push to connect to the style that we've used everywhere else. That's all done. Gas tanks in, sort of back here is mostly buttoned up, other than we gotta add the wires and the hoses to the fuel tank, that sort of thing. But I'm gonna move up front for now. I have not put the airbags in up front, have not put the shocks in yet. Haven't kind of tightened everything up. There's a couple bolts that I noticed that are short, so I'm gonna have to mark those down and swap those out later. But now I'm gonna throw the airbags in, get these wires kind of situated back onto the frame, and just sort of tidy all this up and get the front buttoned up. Oh, sway bar, shocks, all that. Okay, I got a little tip for you. So right now I'm trying to get the airbag mounted. We got bolts that go right up inside here, so they go way up in there. Can't even really see them, right? I want to be able to put them in and just start them by spinning the ratchet. Like I don't want to have to finger them in first. So what I do, I either use tape or an earplug, but you stick an earplug in the socket and then you put your bolt in, and then it takes pressure to like keep the bolt in the socket, right? That way you can actually push up and spin it in, find the hole. So I'm just gonna go inside here, find the hole. Okay, I'm through the hole, find the airbag hole, and then get that bolt started super easy, right? The earplug trick. Okay, so I'm about to throw these shocks on. So I guess I had to make these little spacers here. We forgot to do that earlier. I originally was gonna do 2 different bolts for each shock bottom, but similar to the top, we end up putting these spacers in and just using one big long bolt. So I just cut this on that little DVR bandsaw, but I'm even using this thing now for deburring the insides of these holes, because check that out. Watch. I've been doing the edges of all these plates, but the insides of holes even as small as like 3/8. I'm gonna paint these up real quick, let them dry, and then get these shocks bolted on. All right, shocks are in. Just if you haven't already noticed, I'm using Stover nuts and grade 8 hardware. Some people say you should use grade 5. I don't know. I like the color. The drive line's going back in. Shout out to Harley again. Thank you very much for shortening this drive shaft after giving us this transmission brake. Very, very cool. You rock, dude. One step closer. I'm probably gonna chop the video right here. Next video, we are gonna finish this and get this thing fired up. So I'm super, super stoked for that. So thank you all for watching. Thank you to our sponsors. We got Fast Cut CNC and KBC Tools. Those guys really help us out. So if you guys need anything from them, hit them up. Make It Kustom is the discount code on KBC Tools website. Don't forget to email register. Also, we've got Patreon going on. We're doing some like the live updates. Like we're probably about a month ahead of you guys here at the shop. So what we're trying to do is give some insight into our daily things and do that on Patreon, as well as we've got DXF files on Patreon. We've got DXF files on the website. If you want to just purchase the DXF files to build one of our tools, bead roller, hammer jammer, bomber seat files, we got more stuff getting uploaded as the time progresses. And anyway, thank you all for watching so very, very much. Really appreciate every single one of you watching and just enjoying the content, because this is all for you guys at the same time as we really enjoy bringing it to you. So don't forget to like, click subscribe, hit notifications. I'll catch you on the next one. Thanks everybody. Bye-bye.